Hi, friends. It's Miss Anna here again. And I have been thinking this week about people that I love and care about that I don't get to see or be around right now. I bet all of you have people in your lives that are like that. People who you love so much, maybe some of your best friends, that you don't get to be around right now. And it is so hard. And as I've been thinking about that, I realized that I have a couple ways of reminding myself that even though I'm not with people and though I can't see them, doesn't mean that their love isn't with me. One thing that reminds me of that is this note right here. So this is a note that when I've gone out of town, I put next to my daughter's bed. And it sits there, and even though she can't read, she knows it's a note from me that is telling her how much I love her. And there's a picture of us that she can look at when I'm gone. Something else that we keep in our house is this frog right here. So this is a special frog because my husband, Steve, his grandma used to keep this frog in her house. It used to sit right by her phone, and she would keep special notes that would fit right there in its mouth. And so it's something that reminds him of his grandma. So even though Steve doesn't get to see his grandma anymore, we have this frog in our house that reminds him of her. And in that same way, I have this necklace here that some of you have probably seen me wear because I wear it a lot. And it has two things hanging off of it. One here is a cross, and one is a dove. It's one of the images we use for the Holy Spirit. And so when I wear this necklace, it reminds me of two things. First, it reminds me of the people that gave me these two things. My two grandmas gave me each of these. So when I wear it, I remember them, but I also remember the love that God has for me, and the love that comes through Jesus, and the love that comes through the Holy Spirit. And that is exactly what our lesson is this week. It comes from the book of John, chapter 14, verses 15 through 31. And in it, Jesus is talking to his best friends, the disciples, and reminding him that he is not going to be with them forever, that he's going to return to heaven to be with God, but that he is not going to leave them alone, that God is going to send to them the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is a comforter, a peace that God sends to be with us, so that even though Jesus isn't here on earth and we can't see Jesus right in front of us, the Holy Spirit is a reminder when we feel God's presence and we feel God's love. That is the Holy Spirit. So even though we don't get to see God, we feel the promises of God's love through the Holy Spirit. So I want you guys to think about this week. Number one, what are some things that you keep around your house that remind you of people that you don't get to see, either because you can't see them right now or because they've left this life on earth and are with God in heaven now? And number two, what are some things that remind you of the love that God has for us? And what are ways that you've been reminded by the Holy Spirit, the promise that God has for us, that God is with us always? What are some things or some times where you have felt that promise? I am thinking about you guys, and I am praying for you guys, and I cannot wait until I get to see you next. Bye.